Since a couple of days, I'm seeing this screenshot everywhere on Twitter and LinkedIn. And I'm sorry for you, this is now on YouTube. But what is it about? This was posted on Reddit a couple of days ago. It's from someone who worked as a Flutter developer for 3 years and got laid off and is now struggling to find a new job. I'm not going to talk about Flutter specifically, but I'd like to use this as a hook to talk about my personal view about going all in on a specific technology versus stacking more soft and hard skills, clearly at the cost of being less prepared on that one thing in particular. In this case, Flutter. There's a common definition about the shape of a professional that can either be I-shaped, T-shaped, or bi-shaped. You might have already heard about it in the past, but there are probably a dozen other variations, and these ones are the most common. So, what does it mean? Imagine on the x-axis you have the number of skills you have, and on the y-axis you have the depth of each skill. Look at letter I. It's one skill, but goes really deep into it. You're a dragon on that specific framework or technology, and you can do anything you want with it. But what if you get out of your comfort zone? What's gonna happen? And that's why sometimes it's recommended to have a T-shape. You have one good skill that you're really good at, maybe slightly less than the I-shaped developer, but you also have a couple other skills that you can use to help you with your main skill. Those are usually soft skills, such as communication, marketing, or other skills that are not directly related to your main role, but can somehow help you. Besides, the horizontal line of the T can also include some bits of knowledge of other technologies that are actually part of your role. For example, an I-shaped developer might have, let's say, 10 years of Angular experience, but none in React, while a T-shaped might have maybe 5 years on React and 2 years on Angular. Well, being really strong on one specific framework can put yourself in a pretty convenient position, but it can also be a trap. What happens if that framework is not used anymore in your company, or if you get laid off and you need to find a new job? That's exactly what happened to our Flutter developer. If your skill is still relevant, you're probably going to find a new job pretty quickly. But if it's not, you're going to have a hard time. And considering how fast the tech industry is moving, it's not that unlikely. So what about the pie shape? The thing is, when you're quite strong on a specific skill, being that 5% better might require you quite some time and effort. Well, you could use that same amount of energy to learn a new skill and become 80% good. That's why the pie shape makes a lot of sense for a developer, which is not necessarily having two main skills, but having more than one. You still have your main skill where you're really good at, but you also have one or two other hard skills that you can use in case of need. Speaking about front-end, you may be a React developer with some experience in Angular and a little experience in Quick or Svelte. This will make you quite a good pie-shaped developer with a lot of flexibility in case of need. You will also need to know about JavaScript under the hood and TypeScript so that you can basically pick every possible framework. Now that we have some kind of definitions, here's how I'm trying to frame myself into that. I already gave you some hints about what I might think anyway, but I'm not saying you should go deep into one specific technology. I-shaped is not necessarily bad, but you should be aware of the risk that come with it. First of all, you might lose the focus on the fact that your favorite tool is a tool. It's not the goal itself. Your technology or framework serves the only purpose of solving a problem. With that in mind, as long as it's the best tool for the job, you're gonna have a great time. But if it's no longer the case, you should make sure to be able to adapt and transposing your knowledge to what is required at that point. I mean, you can also bet on your hard skill being relevant forever or at least for a really long time. Yeah, that's an option. But if it's not the case, that's why I really like the pie shape, and it's exactly what I'm trying to do myself. But will it be the right choice? Only time will tell. But as a proper pie shape developer, I'll be prepared to adapt as smoothly as possible by having at least some knowledge here and there. But do I run into the chance of being mediocre in everything but not really skilled in anything in particular? I'm not gonna lie, yes. Sometimes I have that feeling. However, I'm still young and the career will be quite long. So I think as long as I've got a solid, wide base of knowledge, I should be able to decide at any point to go deep into one specific technology if I want to. Now that I think about it, I should probably state what my long-term plan is, maybe in a video, and it would be interesting in 5 or 10 years time to look back at what was the plan and what actually happened. That's actually not a bad idea. Stay tuned and thanks for watching.